Hey everybody, welcome to TradeScope. My name is Luis Garcia. I am a part-time trader, and this is my weekly recap where I go over all the trades that I've been making this week. Before I get started, I'd like to mention that this video is for educational purposes only and is not meant to be taken as financial advice. With that, let's get right started because I have a quick video for you guys. Only took one trade this week, and it was on Friday, so I almost took no trades this week. But I had a little bit of time to look at my momentum scanners Friday morning. I was following this stock called BDMD. I believe it's a medical stock. Float was a little less than 10 million, and it was running with momentum, had a good amount of volume yesterday. And if you look at this chart, something interesting that happened with it that I don't think I've talked about much on my channel is it got halted a few times this morning. So I have a halt scanner, and it shows me things that have been halted. I noticed it popped up multiple times in the halt scanner. And that's typically an indication that there is a lot of volume and momentum coming into a low float stock. Usually there's a news catalyst, not always. In this case, there was. The news catalyst from yesterday was this headline: Baird Medical engages with healthcare leaders amid 2025 JP Morgan Healthcare Conference. So, sounds like they're going to a conference. Doesn't really matter too much to me as long as there's the catalyst and there's the volume and there's the momentum. So, I took a really quick trade on this. My trade was 2 minutes total. And the trade was for a break of $10. So, here you can see the $10 mark. Let me get my doodle pen out here, change it to the right color. I'll show you real quick the $10 mark. So there's the $10 mark. It's a crappy line, but that's it right there. And I basically bought it. I saw that it was fighting for this $10 mark. There was a lot of volume and momentum. I was checking the level 2, and as it broke through $10, I set a limit order for $9.95. So as you can see, it dipped right below that. Got in at $9.95, and I think I got in at $11.07. Let's get the crosshair tool out. This should work. All right, so I got in at $11.07. So here I was right here. I got in right here, $9.95, and I got out at $10.45. At $11.09. So I was really looking for a break to 11 because I had 500 shares. So if I had gotten in at $9.95, out at $10.95, that's $1 per share profit times 500 shares. That's $500. Unfortunately, I didn't get that. So my next best was $10.45, and I got out at that price, $10.45. So I ended up with a profit of $250. Not bad for 2 minutes of trading. So that was basically my trade for the week, BDMD. I'll talk a little bit about some of my holdings because I am still holding some things. The first thing I'll talk about is DJT. So if you've been following the channel, I've been following this one since the election. And the reason I've been following it since the election is because I got in right around $45 right after the election. It dipped down, did all this stuff, and my prediction was that it would break to higher highs around the inauguration. The thing about DJT is it tends to follow the momentum in the stock tends to follow any news surrounding Donald Trump's presidency. So that was the play. Get in at the election. I was really hoping for a break at the election, but that didn't happen. So I held it. No problem, averaged down a little bit. I had a feeling it would break higher once the inauguration came around. Monday is the inauguration, so I'm expecting it to break higher, and that's exactly what it did. And now it's just under my cost basis of $45. What I'm really looking for is a break to this high, which would be $55. I got about 175 shares. Excuse me. So 175 shares times $10 profit would be about $1,750 profit. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Now, if we take a look, let's take a look at the weekly. We could see this thing has potential to go even higher. So it could break to the 55 mark, right? But it could also break to the 80 mark, right? So that would be interesting. If it could break higher past this 55 mark, so really we're looking at like right about there. So you could see it's faced resistance here in the past. This is a pretty big resistance level. See all these topping tails, topping tail, topping tail, right? Topping tail. So if it breaks that level of 55, I expect for it to try to make a run for that $80 mark way up here. So if that happens, then that would kind of be the range that I'm looking for. So if I show you the channel, I'm looking for this channel. This is one profit target. And let me use a different color for the shading. That's roughly another profit target. So those are kind of the zones that I'm looking for, right? Either one of those zones is a good profit for me. $1,750 if it gets to $55. If it gets to 65, it's double. If it gets to 75, it's triple, right? So those are probably the profit targets I'm looking for. We'll see what happens, though. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. The other one I wanted to talk about was SYM, this little robotics company that I've been holding a little bit against my will, because if we go back to the daily chart, you'll see that I got in here, switch back to this line. So I got in right about here, and I was hoping, I was planning for a break of $40, right? So if I get the channel out, I shouldn't say I was hoping, because hope is never a strategy. I was really planning for a break of $40 into this next range right here, right? Because you can see that's the next trading range, was between $40 and $50. That's not what happened. What happened instead was it went through this big, so they had just had earnings at the time, and they released a news article saying that they flubbed their earnings and their earnings were way off, and so that caused an overcorrection to the downside, in my opinion, on this stock. And so it's been trading in this range instead. And so now if we zoom back in, you can see it's finally broken. It gapped up this week and broke the 200 moving average, broke back down below it. That's expected. It's testing this range again. But I think now that it's shown that it can get back above 200, it puts it back into this range. I've since averaged down because my original position was very small anyways. And so I'm basically looking for it to get back into this 40 range right in here, right? And if it can break 40, great. But that's kind of the range I'm looking for. So let's talk about fundamentals. Why is it doing this? Well, it's a robotics company. And you got to ignore all these lawsuits, because this is just what lawyers do when companies misreport earnings and there are big drops in the stock. There's always lawyers coming out to feast on, the class action lawsuits. But if we look, let's see, it got a couple things here. So price target raised to $41 per share from $35, so it's well below that at the moment. Maintain and outperform by Northland Capital Markets. Price target maintained at $35 at Needham. So this all happened this week, and let's talk about why all those outperforms and price target announcements happened. Here's another one, $35. Oh no, I just lost the article. Here it is. Okay. So initiated at outperform by Oppenheimer. Here it is right here. Here's the big news drop, right? So Symbiotic Symbotic to acquire Walmart's advanced systems and robotics business and sign related commercial agreement. So basically, they are acquiring a bunch of Walmart's systems and robotics. I'm not sure what Walmart has been working on that has to do with robotics, but they're acquiring it. It's good news for the company, and the market has reacted positively to that news. So that's kind of the reason they're gapping up, and their price target is right back to this original entry point of mine, and I've since averaged down to, so my average is around $30. I think I have 200 shares now at $30. So again, similar type of thing. If I can get 35, then that is, I think my average is actually like 31.79 exactly. So if I can get 36.79, that's $1,000 profit. If I can get 41.79, that would be a $2,000 profit. So those are the price ranges that I'm looking for. I'm just curious. Let's read a little bit about this. So, company has agreed to acquire the advanced systems and robotics business from Walmart. This transaction expands the long-standing relationship between Walmart and Symbotic with the aim of developing an integrated automated supply chain. That's what it is. Walmart has chosen Symbotic to develop, build, and deploy an advanced solution leveraging Symbotic's AI-enabled robotics platform to offer Walmart customers greater shopping convenience through accelerated online pickup and delivery options at stores. Okay, well, that's great news. Symbotic is basically taking over all of Walmart's customer shopping experience. Symbotic will engage in a development program funded by Walmart to enhance current online pickup and delivery fulfillment systems, as well as to design new systems to meet the needs of current and future customers. If performance criteria are achieved, Walmart is committed to purchasing and deploying systems for 400 APDs at stores over a multi-year period, with Walmart's option to add additional APDs in the coming years. Associated with the development program, Walmart will pay Symbotic a total of $520 million, including $230 million at closing. The transaction and new agreements could increase Symbotic's future backlog by more than $5 billion and adds a micro-fulfillment solution that expands its addressable market by more than $300 billion in the United States alone. That's a big deal for this company. Total consideration for the acquisition is $200 million in case it close, subject to customary adjustments, and up to $350 million in additional contingent consideration in future periods, dependent upon the quantity of APD systems ordered. The acquisition is anticipated to close in Symbotic's fiscal second quarter of 2025. So that's a pretty big deal for this company. That's a huge amount of money for them. I forget what their float is, but I believe it's under 50 million. So it's a pretty low float company. At these prices, with some good volume, I think once investors really digest this news and they can kind of like overcome all these headlines about lawyers because of this big drop when they flubbed their accounting, I think this thing could really take off. I mean, even if you look, probably the weekly is a better way to look at this. But like if you look up here, I mean it's traded in the $50 to $60 range, right? So that's not out of the realm of possibility. And it seems that the $40 to $50 range is more the norm for this stock, right? So I think that's something to look at, right? I think that's something to anticipate happening for this stock. That's why I'm excited to see what happens in the next couple weeks for it. It's already shot up. You can see that. The momentum is turning around. The RSI is turning around. You got this big volume spike into the close of this week. And let's see, it just tested the 50 moving average. So I think good things are happening technically with this too. Anyways, that's pretty much everything I'm trading. Let me know what you guys are trading. Let me know what you think about these stocks and if they're on your radar. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're watching. Please leave a comment down below if you have anything to talk about. I always try to answer my comments. And thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.